iStudio opens a new era of presentation. So this is a very big word that I'm declaring that iStudio opening new generation of presentation, because so far all the presentation in the classroom to 50 students or 100 students there, and it's expanded to the conference center, conference room in hotel or a large classroom where you have 300 people, 500 people there. In that case, you need a microphone and also big projector screen. This is a very important thing. But unfortunately, sometimes we forget that presenter's face, like I'm doing. I'm watching you and I'm gesturing you. I'm continuously moving my hand and face and all the actions is, I'm assuming you are watching just in front of me as you are watching myself. So the presentation place, always we need the presenter's face and gestures to send his emotional things to there. But unfortunately, in many big conference center, we miss this point. And also right now, every people, for example, in Korea, we have 30 million smartphones are using right now. Every day when you go the subway station, any bus stops or any train stops, everybody watching this angle, just watching down, facing down, watching this one. This one showing much bigger world than he can watch in his eye. So that is a virtual window to see virtual world and every place and previous life, everything you can see there. So how we make a presentation over cyberspace to the smart mobile phone in real time. So we need to think the way how I'm doing, and you can decide what is the invention from Tarim. So if you look at all the presentation in YouTube, you will see 7 million or 10 million people watching very famous lecture in MIT and Stanford like this. We are so surprised that too many people watching this video after they announced the presentation recording video in YouTube. That's very interesting thing that there is a lot of videos. The Time magazine mentioned that whole this video will replace the Ivy League university to the cyber lectures. And some people very worried about that, makes the whole university dangerous, because the people will not come to the university to listen lecture. But actually opposite thing is happening. The reason is, right now all the presentation here, they make a very expensive presentation recording, editing, and finally they put this one in the YouTube. But surprisingly, they are still continuously teaching in the classroom. That means all the video in YouTube doesn't make a presentation replacement, which means that the video they made, which is one of the best technology they are using available in the market or available in the technology, but still this video cannot replace live lecture. So students has to go to the classroom, teacher has to come to classroom to have a certain limited lecture classroom environment. So I'm saying all the technology we are using right now is not making real presentation recording which can replace or which can produce at least similar level of presentation. But for my case, for example, when I do this presentation, when I travel someplace to pointing out what the presentation problem is, I never use presentation again, because I can just play this video and they can replace my presentation perfectly. And I believe you agree my word that this video is replaceable my live lecture. If you see my presentation place, you will be surprised. I have this kind of environment. I have a notebook there, and I have iStudio machine in front, nothing else. I have a mobile phone. Unfortunately, I put here, but I don't have to put there. So my microphone here, so everything is there. If you put this video like that way, you see this is a very poor environment. Just a fabric here, I have a notebook, and if you make a video editing that way, nobody appreciates my presentation. But now, I'm making $1 million studio, so whole presentation going very beautifully. I can change every environment very easily without any 3D design or 2D design. You just bring your video in the background and your studio just in front of your mountain, sea, street, doesn't matter. You just put the background video and then you have different things. For example, I can bring the background with the mountain like this. Then immediately the whole environment change that way. I can change this one slightly bigger and smaller so you can make a very different way easily. So whole this virtual world is on your fingertips, so you can change the studio for whatever you want, and also you can bring all the presentation from camera, from PowerPoint, notebook, files, video. So every tools we are providing in iStudio is one touch, easy of use. So the whole technology we are using in the lecture recording, presentation recording right now, showing something like that kind of environment. I just analyzed several videos and pictures in the YouTube. I bring these pictures here so you can see what kind of different technology I'm using right now. This is the lecture recording by several HD or good cameras in the classroom, and several cameramen go there and they record 30 or 1 hour full video audio recording, and eventually they come back to the editing room. They spent more than a week or months to edit nice presentation. Once they edit, they have to bring this one to the professor or teachers to verify whether they really make a well editing or not, because the teacher only knows the editing right or not. That's the whole idea. So this picture, you see, we have been used to this way for more than 10 years, from year 2000 to right now. They have presenter here and they have a PowerPoint here. The even presenter moving around the classroom, then they have a camera tracking. They capture the lecturer or presenter on this corner and staying there 30 minutes, 1 hour. And they have a PowerPoint slide or notebook screen there. So eventually they can use 100% of screen. They use maybe 60% of screen area for active information or presenter and PowerPoint. So that way they do, this is the way to make a presentation capture, because presenter always consists of the presenter and presenting material. But you see the difference. If you go this way, people immediately thinking the presenter's face. If the presenter say something like this way, then they see presenter's eye, my eye watching you, and also other people simultaneously. This is called virtual eye contact, which is a part of our patent in this iStudio. So that way we can make a very effective way adding teachers, presenters, emotional things over the video, and eventually the watching people can concentrate on listening this lecture. So any method, switcher, mixer, or editing device cannot make such kind of three-dimensional mixing as iStudio doing right now. So another thing, important thing we are doing right now is video conferencing. There are many teleconferencing device, telepresenting device in the market. Every people say they can make a document sharing, they can switch to PowerPoint sharing. There are many webinar with this method similar like that. So same thing is happening in this video conference, because the conferencing they make a two screen. This is one of the best device in the market, showing the presenter and presenting material in two screen. So people sitting here has to decide which screen they have to see. It's not immersive way I'm doing like this. Immediately when I bring my screen here, everybody watching me. Immediately when I bring this one like this, everybody watching me and this screen. And when I show this one in this way to have a bigger screen, which means every people has to concentrate on watching this one. And I can say there are many presentation related technologies like SKYPE, Woobook, Camfro, WebEx, Sony Connect Pro, and Tenberg life-size, very nice devices available in the market, but their method is not same as I'm doing right now for the presentation. So presentation conference is different from normal video conference. So if you look at another thing, when it comes to the large conference room, banquet, gathering several hundred people sitting with a table, and they always make a big screen, at least here, and also there is a presenter which is very tiny if you look at from the backside. They doesn't believe this is so small. The field of view from the human eye is very wide angle. Then very narrow angle for presenter's face happening here. So this angle is very, very small there. So their face we cannot see. So to combine presenter, because presentation always says I am emphasizing need to show both presenter and presenting material, but all the places, as like a video conferencing, they show PowerPoint big and presenter too small. And when we see in this position, still the bright projector screen doesn't make a presenter's face beautiful. That's a problem of the large conference area. But when you show that way, sometimes you can make this kind of screen to have all the different material, and sometimes you show that way, so whole people will satisfy to watch your detailed face there. So that way we can now make a big conference room solution using this iStudio. So iStudio doesn't mean only presentation recording device or conferencing device. iStudio means also presenting devices. So I want to summarize several important points today I made. One is, so far, even we are living very smart world. The iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Google, lot of new technology, 3G, 3.5G, 4G is coming on this planet. But still, presentation, education, important, the knowledge transfer method still cannot be taped, cannot be recorded, cannot be transferred over the internet. So no presentation video made by any device to replace the live lecture. That's the whole point we need to point out. And I'm emphasizing iStudio is one of the way to have this solution. So you will feel if this is the answer or not from this video. The second one is, no presentation conference can make existing devices. So there is some way of distance presentation or webinar and many tools, but this is an alternative way of live presentation, but this method is not same as the live presentation as you travel. So I would say the no distance presentation method and also present conference system is available. And also once we use, for example, Skype, in this iStudio, we can transfer this video to another site. So instead of sending my camera, I mix this camera with the presentation material like this way and transfer to there. That way, they have a whole beautiful video in the other side while you are watching their video back to your second monitor. Third one is we can solve huge conference room where you only show projector with a presenting material. Now we are combining this one. Sometimes you make a bigger screen like that way. Sometimes you make a smaller screen for projector screen, but bigger face as I'm doing. This is a way very easily to make this control. And eventually, every people trying to put this video for presentation by smartphone or website, learning management system, e-learning, distance presentation, could not be made so well. Now, whole value of presentation, you can make. Any person who knows the notebook can easily operate this iStudio. So they can create their own studio very simply and beautifully. And also they can do whole presentation by themselves easily. So whole value of presentation can be recorded. So all the presentation method, multiple projector screens, and the presenter's face, everything we can record. So when you watch this kind of a lecture room, the audience sitting here has to decide where they watch, the teacher or screen. Depending on what kind of environment they decide. Their brain very busy to see, follow which one they have to see. But if we provide this switching button to presenter, so presenter right now, as like me doing, this one bigger, smaller, changing, and showing where I'm doing all operation is simply made. So that's the way how we make a whole presentation beautifully, and then we can go this one very easily to have different looks. So even I have a very simple environment to do presentation, but the result is very beautiful, and finally we can replace such an environment. All the not beautiful environment we can hide. The screen will have a beautiful screen as I'm doing right now. That's the way we do all the presentation recording. So the 4 important points I'm pointing out to make a real lecture capture presentation video system is following 4 main things. The first one is it has to be real-time recording and conferencing and presentation, which means all presentation video, not several video, but one video has to be automatically created without any editing. You just use this one for presentation, replacing your live lecture. Second one is whole operation has to be so easy that any person, any presenter can learn operation within just 5 minutes. So after that, they can operate as like they are using the normal notebook, so they can make a control, changing everything by fingertips. This is one of the main patent technology in iStudio. The third one, which is the most important thing, is the video from this iStudio, the presenting device, lecture capture device, has to be replaceable of live lecture. So otherwise, the video is not the presentation video. Presentation video from any real-time operating machine has to be created so this video can replace live lecture. Eventually, the presenter don't have to repeat this presentation for any place, for any time. The first one is all the video created from this device has to be well compressed so they can transfer in any place in the planet, so they can make a real-time broadcast or transfer to any place. So we have to have a compression then this video for every people. So if any person develop these 4 things, whole presentation history can be changed. Whole paradigm of education can be changed. Whole school architecture will be transferred to cyber. We have been used a Blackboard very long time. The whole Blackboard, 213 years old of Blackboard after 1801 French school invented the slate board Blackboard. After that, human history start the classroom. But now, eventually we have a project generation, and also we have a Wi-Fi smartphone generation. Now we need something different way. So we have another invention to show something very different thing, which is called 3D object demonstration. For example, I can bring this kind of the Earth planet. So this one can go bigger or smaller. So we can control this one. If I use a joystick, I can control this one. So such a big Earth we can show in 3D space. Same time, I can bring this kind of micro DNA architecture in these places. The virtual world doesn't mean small, bigger, or heavy, dangerous, any chemistry, actions, reactions. We can realize in the virtually to transfer right information immediately to the students. And also, once you make such a simple experimental device, this one can share every people in the planet, so they can change whole education things immediately. So I would say iStudio is not only lecture recording, but iStudio can change everything in different paradigm of presentation, and also whole presentation video can immediately share everybody on this planet. So I'm emphasizing today that so far no device exists to make a video recording, video transferring, distance presentation, telepresentation is not perfectly made. But now, after iStudio, your valuable presentation can be recorded in real time, and every people can share, not only for your generation also, but also for next generation forever. That's why I'm very appreciate to developing this kind of technology and having opportunity to have such a presentation to you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy all my presentation and understanding my bad pronunciation and accent, but I hope you understand Korean English speaking. Thank you very much.